For this project, you're going to demonstrate your understanding of geometry vocabulary with pasta. You're going to need to imagine multiple possibilities for each vocabulary word. You might be working with somebody else or alone. And near the end, we're going to recreate some of the challenges that we had. To start with, you're going to need a small piece of colored paper and one piece of pasta. We'll use a second piece of pasta later. For challenge 1, place the pasta on the paper and point with your finger where an acute angle is. If you pointed with your finger to a place like this, or maybe a different angle like this one here, then you've succeeded on challenge number 1. For challenge 2, point to where a right angle is. You might have noticed you don't even need a piece of pasta. You could have pointed where the corner of the paper is, or done something like this. Challenge 3, make and point to an obtuse angle. As long as you pointed to an angle greater than 90 degrees, you succeeded on challenge 3. For challenge 4, make and point to a triangle. If you were successful on challenge 4, use 2 sides of the paper and then the pasta to make the third side. You could have done something like this, or possibly something in the top like this. For challenge 5, create a triangle that has an angle larger than 90 degrees. This would be called an obtuse triangle. Using the corner of the paper, we're limited to only 90 degrees. We can't go over, so this challenge is actually impossible. This time for challenge 6, create a triangle where all the angles are less than 90 degrees. Since again we're using the corner of the paper, we're always going to have a 90-degree angle, so this too is impossible. For challenge 7, can you make a triangle where none of the side lengths are the same? One example of a scalene triangle. It has a small, a medium, and a long side. Challenge 8 asks you to create a triangle where 2 of the sides are exactly the same length. If you think about cutting a square diagonally, you'll see that 2 of the sides are exactly the same length as shown by these green lines. Challenge 9 is to create an equilateral triangle where all the sides are the same length. You may have discovered that at most you can only have 2 sides that are the same length. This one is also impossible. Moving away from 3-sided shapes, can you make a 4-sided shape? That's called a quadrilateral. Many quadrilaterals are possible. Here's one of them, and here's another. Challenge 11 is to create a 4-sided shape that has 4 right angles. Do you know the name of that? It's actually called a rectangle. Can you make a rectangle with your piece of pasta? This example shows one rectangle on the right and another on the left. Next up is a special quadrilateral that has 1 pair of parallel sides. The shape is called a trapezoid. notice in this example, the top and bottom are parallel, as shown by these green lines. Now what if we need two pairs of parallel sides, another special quadrilateral called a parallelogram? All rectangles happen to have two pairs of parallel sides, so that would count as a parallelogram. One interesting quadrilateral has no parallel sides. Can you make one of those? It would be called a trapezium. Since the opposite sides of our paper are parallel, we'll always have a pair of parallel sides, so this is actually an impossible task. Enough four-sided shapes. Can you make a five-sided shape for challenge 15? Believe it or not, you can make a five-sided shape. Here's one example. We made a five-sided shape. How about a six-sided shape? That'd be called a hexagon. Challenge 16 joins the other impossible tasks. Let's revisit the 5 tasks that we thought were impossible. They happen to be these: obtuse, acute, and equilateral triangles, trapeziums, and hexagons. What if, instead of using one piece of pasta, we were granted 2 pieces of pasta? Would these impossible challenges now be possible? Revisiting challenge 5 now as challenge 17 with 2 pieces of pasta, make an obtuse triangle. Having that second piece of pasta really helps in making that wider obtuse angle. With 2 pieces of pasta, can you make a triangle where all the angles are less than 90 degrees? An acute triangle. Challenge 18 is a lot easier with 2 pieces of pasta. Now we can be sure all the angles are less than 90 degrees. But what about creating a triangle where all the sides are the same length? With 2 pieces of pasta, now even this is possible. What about the trapezium challenge? Make a 4-sided shape with no parallel sides. There are many possibilities. Here's one of them. And for your last challenge, create a 6-sided shape with 2 pieces of pasta.